Hello, I am David Vaisberg, the senior rabbi at Temple B'nai Abraham in Livingston. In this week's Parashat Vayishlach, Yaakov is preparing to meet his brother Esav after years of not talking, after cheating his brother out of his blessing, after tricking his brother out of his birthright, and knowing that his brother has wanted to kill him for years. He's terrified. So he sends everything he has over the river, taking some precautions, sends messengers ahead, and stays on his side for the night. And over the night, the text tells us that this mysterious figure comes and fights with him, wrestles with him. We find out after Jacob refuses to let go that this is a divine being who gives Yaakov that change in name, that changes Yaakov's name to Yisrael, the one who struggles with divine beings. And we take on that name. The commentators have a field day trying to figure out who this being is. Some will argue that it is just an angel. And God is sending this angel to really test Yaakov, to see if Yaakov is ready to ultimately become the patriarch of our people. Some say that this divine being was Esav's angel, coming to do reconnaissance work, coming to see if Yaakov has changed, perhaps even to try to fight Yaakov beforehand, to weaken Yaakov or even kill him. And some say that this divine being was Yaakov's angel, that Yaakov was wrestling with himself, with who he has been, what he has done, and who he really should be moving forward. And no one actually comes up with one solution. We have this multiplicity of answers, and I think having those different answers is particularly useful to us because in times of difficulty, in times of conflict, like what Yaakov had with Esav, we need to be considering all of these elements. When we think about what's happening in Israel right now, where we are fighting for our safety, and God willing, we will once again get to live in both safety and peace, we do need to consider that there is an enemy who is very interested in killing us, that we are fighting terrorists. We also need to look deeply at ourselves, to think about how we're fighting this war, to think about who we were prior to this war and the divisiveness that existed among our people, and to think about who we want to be when, God willing, this war is over. We also need to think about the divine in all aspects and presence. We need to think about those who are created in the divine image, that there are so many innocents who are being impacted by what's happening. We have an obligation to think about all of these dimensions. And we have to remember, too, that even the most awful of human beings here, we're not just dealing with human beings, we're dealing with people who are human beings and therefore have the spark of God within them. That no matter how much people have mucked up the holiness within them, they're still human beings made in the divine image. And we have to grapple with all of this in these difficult times. So may we find in this Parsha not necessarily the answers we need, but at least guidance to make sure that we think everything through in such a complex time. Shabbat Shalom.